That is a water tank with a pump, 52 litre, and this will be the new drawers. So this is the setup as you know at the moment. Single drawer, solar panel, cooker, boxes up top. I just run the wolf packs from Front Runner and a cargo net. It does work really well. Good go. Nice. Just got the 2 brackets either side and the drawer slide each side of that. The last of the drawers are out. I've still got the false floor sitting in there because I won't be using that, like I said, but I will be using very similar sort of setup because the water tank will actually sit on the back of the drawers, the Front Runner drawers. They'll need to be supported by something. They will bolt to the back of that because that's how they're designed to be in the back of a tub or whatever, but yeah, in the back of this, there's nothing for it to sit on. I don't want 50 litres of water just dangling off the back of the drawers, so I prefer to support the bottom of it as well. Front Runner, they say 15 minutes to fit these, which is awesome. There's just turnbuckles that come down to original mounting points in this, so that is a dream. I need to clean half a Cape York out of underneath this carpet because, yeah, there was a bit of water in here from there. Still got sawdust and whatever in here from when I built that drawer system. So I'll give it a bit of a clean while we've got it out. But yeah, how good is that? 15 minutes. If you do flood your car, which will happen, no doubt, get home and it only takes 15 minutes to get your whole drawer system out instead of an hour and a half or 2 hours. That's a good thing. We're nearly there. We can do it.
Lift it,
put it on there.
I can't. Oh.
You're right, how'd you get?
I can't get out.
Get out. We're in. Talk about panic stations. Quick!
I was scared.
Time to get the tools out, take some measurements, cut some timber, and hopefully we can get it done today. All right, to attach these 2 pieces, it's just going to be a bit of 50 by 50 alley angle. I think it's by 3. I'm just going to cut it in half. 2 pieces there because it's not quite long enough. It's just what I had laying around, and I prefer the angle to go right to the ends and have a gap in the middle. Cutting an alley with a grinder doesn't really come up with a knife. You end up having to finish your... Well, here's a perfect example. That's what a cut looks like when you do it with a grinder. 4.5 or 5 inch grinder. Much nicer. But yeah, you just want to take it nice and easy because it can grab and want to flick out, and that can get dangerous. We don't want to be dangerous. Usually step drill, that's super handy for drilling sheep. Some little timber screws. This isn't really doing a great deal. What have I got? 20 screws in these 2 bits of angle, so they're not doing heaps. If you were looking for more strength to actually hold a force, you'd probably bolt it with some 6mm M6 bolts or something and countersink it so when you carpet it's all flush. I'm gonna just put a little bit of glue from timber to timber for added strength. Probably overkill, but I'm going to take the edge off of that, just so when we go to upholster it and run our carpet over and down, we can just get a nicer radius on that. So halfway is obviously glove box. I've made it longer than obviously I need to get to the door, but I've made it longer again. So when we start scribing in around the trim and I'm happy with it, I'll dock this end to exactly halfway. That way if you stuff up, you've always got a little bit of green. So both of our platforms are cut. The second one was easy. Like I said, flip it over, trace it, cut it out, done. Just got this propped up with a couple blocks about where I want it. That's at a right angle to this back edge. So once again, we need to scribe a timber in that drops down the front to support the front. That's what it looks like in there. Now to me, it looks a fraction high. So I took an extra 10 mil out of the top pump so they could sit back down in the middle. And I took about 8 or 10 mil off the actual height of this piece too. Just so it's sitting down on the top part of the floor there. Left all that, I'll leave all that open like I did in the previous one. You know, you can stuff your sand flag or any longer items that are generally a pain in the ass to store. So it does come in handy. I'll put my fire extinguishers back one each side under there. But now we need to router out some housings for tie down rails. Now I'm doing them a little bit different from last time. Last time I had them running front to back of the vehicle. This time, just after using it for a couple of years, I'm going to run side to side. I think that'll be a lot more usable. So I'll just go one at the front, one at the back. Exhibit A, front runner ahead of me on that one. Their tie down rails go side to side as well. And even up here I had them front to back, and that was a little bit annoying and a little bit limiting. Same method as we did with that bit the water tank sits on. So yeah, mark holes, drill them, deburr them, fix them together. Bit of glue, happy days. Got this channel, basically the same. It's 18 mil internal or 17 mil internal, which is perfect, like spot on for the ply, the false floors. So that'll slide in that way, drop down, and then fix into the factory seat holes. So I'm just going to put these on with these wafer head screws at the moment, but I'll probably use like an M5 bolt, just a small bolt, for the final fix. We'll see how it goes. These might be adequate, but yeah, there shouldn't be any forward movement when it's fixed into this anyway, so it may be alright. It's purely just stopping that lifting at the back. And I'm gonna, because the ply, you won't actually see this when it's all said and done, I'll leave the carpet unglued for the last 20 mil. So the ply will go into that and the carpet will sneak above that, so it will still be a nice clean look. Now, once again, second time we're getting a bit smarter, I think. We're going to, it's a bit sloppy in there, I'm going to carpet it and run the carpet straight over it and basically push this, put a cut in the carpet along it, and then this will be basically pushed down into that and carpet will roll into both edges. So I need to make 4 plates up that mount into these factory seat holes. As you can probably see there, I need to put a little bit more of a bend on that piece of alley. I'm just bending it in one piece. That way you'll get all the folds the same, and then we can cut it afterwards. There's 2 in each one, and we'll have to somehow mark them out. That could be the tricky part. Alley brackets all made up. There's obviously one more over on the bench, but yeah, that's basically how it's going to go. So I've bolted them in, put the plate back on, and marked around each one. That needs a battery. I'll put a hole in this first and line it up with my marks there, and then drill my 9 mil hole and put my, what are they called? T-nuts. Rattle can spray fix, Bond. Haven't used it before, but I'm always out to try new things. So I've cut my carpet. I'm just using black carpet. I've cut it to a rough size. Obviously there's a bit of extra around the place. See if you can find glue on that one too. Yeah, stoked. Obviously need to carpet that. Water tank will go back on. Yeah, looking schmick. Hell yeah. I made this little extra piece because I need to offset the water tank, but I'm going to replace that with a scribe piece because then I can put a bit of a panel here with the 12 volt outlets. I need a switch, I'll need some light switches as well, so that's going to be a nice little panel there. It's all be concealed, not in the way. Use the remote display because the inverter was always accessible, so it took me a while to find it, but I kept the cord and obviously the display, so that will come in very handy. Well, there she is, nice and tidy. Little switch here. That turns the pump on and off. It does have a pressure switch, but they recommend that you don't just rely on the pressure switch because you're putting your seals and whatever holding them at pressure the whole time. So there's an isolation. No dramas if you're sitting at camp for a day or while you're cooking or whatever. You can use your water and just rely on the pressure switch. As you turn a valve off on the end of your outlet, it will pressure up and it will stop. When I remove the tank, like I will have to in a minute because I need to put my seat back seat, it's just an Anderson plug, so that's completely separate from the actual drawer system. It'll just be a couple bolts on either side. Unplug that and remove it. That way the seat will drop straight in, and when I'm ready to go back, seat out, false floor in, fridge in, tank in, and we're good to go. This is going to be so damn convenient. I'm stoked. The only thing I haven't finished, and it's plumbing it up completely, I'm not exactly sure where I want to run my outlet, my breather and my inlet. I put a bit of carpet in the bottom to stop things rattling. Well, in that one I haven't got around to this one, but oh, how good, so good. That's how good.